The care team, they were very considerate. They were very understanding, and they were very human about the thing. They understand what you're going through. So the transplant that they received is a kidney and a heart transplant. Um, the person is my sister. She moved to New York because the hospital was in New York at the time. She lived in Atlanta, so she came in to get an assessment with the expectation that there was going to be some level of care, but I don't think at the time when we came in or to get the assessment that we knew the magnitude of what was going to happen. I think the timing, not that we're complaining about the timing, but it was like, it's like, okay, we're going to do this. And then it's like, okay, it's got to get done. And then we're like the processing all that information in between was also, and I know based on even the support group, I also know that there are other people out there that has been on the wait list a lot longer. So she was very fortunate within that. So it's a blessing by itself. But in terms of the timing, and I don't know how you mentally prepare for that either. So, but it takes time to mentally, like, grasp all of that. For the 3 months, it was a matter of like juggling my work schedule and being able to go to make sure she's okay. And then, just being there present. So for 3 months, it was exhausting. In addition to that, I also had to make sure that her daughter was here as well. So then her being in school as well and having someone to take care of her and manage her school schedule. So that had to be juggled. The first day seeing her after she had the surgery, that was shell shock, right? So that's a lot to like digest, right? Because it's not like, I don't know if you can be prepared for such a thing. Because when you walk in the first time, the first day I had to excuse myself because obviously you don't want to be breaking down and go in the hallway because it was just a lot to see, a lot to handle. So mentally, that's a lot to digest. Especially the first time after the surgery, it's a lot to handle. I'll be blunt. I think the most focus was on the patient themselves, and I do know that they did spend some time with my niece as a child of the patient. But I think in terms of to be transparent, I think as a caregiver, I don't think there was, especially after discharge, I don't think there was much time spent on. And again, like you said, that could be challenging as well. And for me, for my circumstances, she recovered nicely and rapidly in a timely fashion. But again, if it's a long-term thing and there was no checkpoint as to how I'm doing mentally, now you're going to have two patients instead of one. They have a formal support group, and these were a combination of persons. Either they had already received transplant or they were waiting on the list for transplant, and they also had their other family members there as well. And so they also shared their journey, what that experience was like, to go through that. So that also was eye-opening because I think there are things there that was telling that we help us to prepare to sort of like be on the lookout for those things. There may be some conversations that you don't want to have in front of the patient, right? You want to have it because only caregivers will understand that, and persons may feel like a certain way. So having a caregiver to caregiver support group is also important. There should be the consideration because I think persons assume that everyone is financially available and can handle it. So having parking vouchers, depending on where the persons are located, or having some level of transportation expenses back, because again, that's also make something that's already strenuous even more strenuous if you can't handle it, right? There may need to be childcare services that are made available to those caregivers, because again, it's a strain. It's like you're taking on this and you're taking on that. So there's all these things that are like, coupled together make something that's already like a lot to deal with even heavier.